It's Ash from Super Videos, back for another video for Season 10 of The Walking Dead. This is going to be my death predictions for Season 10 of The Walking Dead, specifically the first half of Season 10, which is most likely going to be the majority of the Whispers War from the comic book, or for non-comic readers, the main conflict between the survivors and the Whispers. So I'm going to go through each main community and the characters in each community and basically talk about my opinions on the chances that they're gonna die this season, or this half of the season for Season 10. So with that, let's jump right into it. Hilltop. So as far as the Hilltop is concerned, first and foremost, we have Daryl Dixon. Now, Daryl Dixon, in many ways, is the main character for The Walking Dead. And I think him, alongside Carol, are basically gluing everything together, and they're basically keeping the show alive. And I'm not including Michonne in here because, of course, we do know that they confirmed that Michonne's final season is Season 10, so she's gonna leave. Now, I'll get to whether I think she's gonna die or not, but that's the primary reason I'm not including her in this conversation. But if we're being really honest, Michonne is also a very integral component of the show. And, her exit, whether she dies or not, will impact the show in some ways. But as far as Daryl is concerned, I think he's most definitely safe. Next, we have Lydia. Now, of course, because of the connection that Lydia has to the Whisperers, I think it would be kind of underwhelming for them to kill her off before the Whisperer story ends. If they kill her off, which is possible, it's most likely that they're gonna do that after the Whisperers. But because of her major connection to the Whisperers and her past with the Whisperers, because of course she was once a Whisperer, I think it's very likely that they're gonna keep her around, at least for the time being, for the Whisperers story arc. After the Whisperers arc, they are able to kill her off if they want to, because Henry is not around and she doesn't really have a story to go forward with. Unless they want to remix the story and give her an interesting story that's unique to the TV show. And I bring Henry up because, of course, in the comic book, Carl actually had a big story arc with Lydia, but of course, Carl is dead, but they gave Carl's story to Henry in the TV show. Of course, they ended up killing Henry, but they still gave us enough of that connection between Henry and Lydia for Lydia's story to make sense. But I think because Henry is dead, after the Whisperers arc, the writers have a little bit of breathing room in terms of what they can do with Lydia. Next, we have Yumiko. Now, I think for Magna's group, one of them is most likely going to die at some point. Most likely during the Whisperers War. Now, why I say that is because ever since they were introduced, nothing bad has ever happened to the group. And I think that takes away from the realism a little bit, and also they need to justify why the group is sticking around after all of the chaos and deaths that are around them. And if you end up killing one of the members of Magna's group, the others are automatically, in a way, going to want to stick around and avenge the death of whoever died. I definitely thought they're going to do that at the end of last season during the Pike's lineup scene, but they didn't end up doing that. But I think it only makes sense for them to do it in Season 10 during the conflict with the Whisperers. So Yumiko is definitely one of the candidates from Magna's group who might not be around for a long time. Next, we have Magna. Now, I think unlike the other people in Magna's group, Magna herself is safe. And it's not just because she's the leader of her group, or was the leader of her group, but the other reason is because they have kind of given us a little bit more backstory, and they have fleshed out her character a little bit more than some of the other characters. Maybe aside from Connie. Connie and Magna, I feel like they got the same level of character development. So both of them in my eyes are safer than the others in Magna's group. Next, we have Connie, who I just talked about. So I think Connie, just like Magna, is safe from Magna's group. With that said, I think between Magna and Connie, Magna is a little bit more safer. But I think if they're going to kill someone from Magna's group, which I think they will, Connie and Magna are most likely the safest. Next, we have Kelly. Now, just like Yumiko, Kelly is also not safe, and there's a chance that they might kill Kelly as well. Now, between Kelly and Yumiko, I don't think they're going to kill both of them. I think they're going to kill one or the other. And I'm leaning more towards Kelly because of the lack of development and because they've fleshed out Yumiko a little bit more than Kelly. Next, we have Luke. I think, much like Kelly and Yumiko, Luke is also another one of those characters that may not be alive at the end of the first half of the season. Now, as far as Luke is concerned, I think he's the safest out of the three. Luke, Kelly, and Yumiko. Mostly because of the development that he's got, and also because of the type of character they're making him out to be, which is a character that's relatable, that is charismatic, and all of that. So I think between the three, Yumiko, Kelly, and Luke, Luke is the safest, but there's a chance that he might get killed. Next, we have Earl. Now for Earl, I think he is most likely safe because, of course, they did kill his wife last season, and I think that was done on purpose to push Earl's story forward and for them to flesh out his character a little bit more. So I think at this point, there's a good chance that he's going to make it out of the first half of season 10 alive and well. Now, going forward after that, that's a different conversation, but I think for the time being, Earl is probably safe. Next, we have Alden. Now, I think Alden, because of his connection to Maggie and because of his connection to the Saviors and all of that, and also because of what they did last season, killing his significant other, Enid, he is most likely one of those other characters that is safe for the time being because they have done a lot of things to flesh out this character and they may have a long-term plan for him. Next up, we have Marco. Now, Marco is most likely one of the background characters who might die during the Whisperers War. So I'm putting him in the will most likely die category. Cal, same sort of thing. Now, I don't think they're going to kill both Cal and Marco. I think they're going to pick one and just go with their death because they both have a similar role at the Hilltop. And that's all the characters from the Hilltop. My death predictions for those characters. I want to know your thoughts and opinions about who you think will die from the Hilltop down in the comment section below. Next up, we're going to look at Oceanside and Alexandria. That's it for this video. See you next time for another super video. If you like what you see, press like, subscribe for more content, and press the bell button to receive notifications for daily uploads.